8-3 aggressive Delver against Adam Cohen, who is 8-3 with Sneak and Show. And we finally do get to see a little bit of Sneak and Show here. 3 copies in day number 2 here at Worcester.
A little bit of spice here in Cohen's list. 1 main deck copy of Beseju, who shelters all, a Jace the Mind Sculptor, only 3 copies of Lotus Petal. Looks like he kept a 6-card hand here after a mulligan.
Look at this stinker.
I don't know. I drew up a lot of hands that look about like this, where you're missing a piece or you're missing any protection. But the deck is so saturated with cantrips that it's, you know, you just keep these hands that are 70% of the way there and hope to fill out the other 30%.
It was a Sneak Attack, a Gristlebrand, and a bunch of lands. Top card of the deck I did not get a great look at. Adam Cohen's already drawn it. Okay, well.
And Show and Tell, you know, in a matchup like this where they really can't answer your creature, you can do the old Todd Anderson style of just cast.
Ram Jam.
Cast
Ram
this.
and Jam.
Can you counter it?
Yep.
Okay, cast the next one, you know. And that doesn't win against decks like Silver every single time, but you don't have to really finesse it. Mm-hmm. You can just keep jamming your stuff.
We'll go over to Bob now, who started things off with the Gataxian Probe, Deathrite Shaman. He'll play another Probe. Now he's going to see the Show and Tell that's hiding in Adam Cohen's hand. To go along with the Sneak Attack, the Gristlebrand, the Volcanic Isle in the Mountain, and the Scalding Tarn. So Bob will get that information as he falls down to 15. He'll draw a card off the Probe. Picked up a copy of Daze.
Daze is really nice here as Cohen's likely path here is just cast a thing on turn 3, cast a thing on turn 4.
Mm-hmm. Here is Ponder. Bob will take a look at the top 3 cards of his deck. Probe and 2 lands, which means it'll be a quick shuffle with the Ponder. Not interested in any of those. So a mystery card on the way here for Bob in just a moment. Adam very ready to take his turn. We're not there just yet. Yeah, easy, easy. Not there just yet, Adam. Another Probe. Same 6. And Bob will draw another card.
Keep going.
Well, his life total really doesn't matter in this matchup, truth be told.
Well, and this is, I know this seems funny, but it's actually very powerful for Bob here as it allows him to potentially power out this Gurmag Angler way ahead of schedule.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in the graveyard, so he'll be short 1.
Yeah, if he had if he could have gotten an Underground Sea naturally, then he would have been fine.
Yeah. And he'll attack for 1. Force of Will to draw a little protection. There's a Mountain. Pass the turn back. We'll go over to Bob now, who's got a dot on top of his deck, so he remembers to check with Delver. Checking and missing. He'll draw a Wasteland. Useless right now.
So it looks like Bob's hand at this point, the Bolt, a Daze, and a Gurmag Angler.
Mm-hmm.
So as good as his opening has been, if Adam draws a 2-mana land and casts Show and Tell, that's it. We're going to game 2 with Cohen up 1.
Yep. That's all it'll take.
If Cohen has to play into the Daze here and then try to resolve Sneak Attack the next turn and then be a turn away from activating it, I think Gurmag Angler plus the Bolt is probably enough of a clock to get it done. But if Cohen draws a 2-mana land here, I think he's a huge favorite to win.
Beatdowns. Beatdowns for 2. Going down to 17. Not the fastest clock here for Bob.
Even another blue card. If he had a blue card to pair with Force of Will to force back on the Daze, that'd be good here, too.
He'll just play a fetch and pass the turn back. He's not in that big of a rush. Says, I want to try to play around Daze if I can. Bob will draw a card, reveal a Lightning Bolt.
Well, now I think the door is basically shut here, because even if Cohen is able to Show and Tell in Gristlebrand next turn, he's taking 10 this turn, plus the Bolt is 13, plus the Bolt and Deathrite Shaman next turn is lethal.
Huh. I think that actually is true.
This is 8, Deathrite's 10, Bolt's 13. You untap, Bolt and Deathrite's gets you to 18.
Yeah. Draw a card, another copy of Force Will. Gonna sacrifice this. Gonna fall down 8.
And also worth noting here that even if Cohen stays at 8, he can't put Gristlebrand in play and activate it looking for help.
Well, that's not
because
happening.
Bob, he falls to 1, and in response, Deathrite Shaman or the Bolts finish the game out.
There's a show and tell. Here's a lightning bolt. Here's another lightning bolt. Well, maybe he was supposed to make a move last turn. I don't know.
It's complicated. I mean,
and even if he forces this, he still loses, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, he forces and goes to 4, and then Deathrite activates twice.
Yep.
So there's no way for Cohen to get out of this spot.
Nope.
You can see Cohen's looking because it feels like there should be a way out of this.
Yeah, I'm going to put a Gristlebrand on the battlefield. I should be able to win. There's Force moving forward. Sure, you're going to go down to 4.
I mean, the question was it necessary to play the Tarn? Because if he had one more life to play with,
He'd be okay.
he wouldn't be okay, but he would have a shot.
And Bob says, I'm going to activate Deathrite Shaman twice and kill you. So, Bob Huang's going to win game number 1 here over Adam Cohen, who couldn't get things going quickly enough as Grixis Delver pulls into the lead here against Sneak and Show. These players will go to the sideboard. We'll be doing the same in just a moment, but first, a few messages from our... Let's prepare to watch game number 2, shall we? Cedric Phillips, Patrick Sullivan here in the booth at SCG Tour. Hashtag SCGWOR for Worcester, which is where we are here watching some legacy action between Adam Cohen and Bob Huang. Prepare to watch game number 2. We'll start with Adam Cohen. So he's down a game. He'll be playing first 4 Leyline Sanctity, 2 Blood Moon, 2 Defense Grid, 2 Pyroclasm, a Braid, Grafdigger's Cage, Echoing Truth, Pyroblast, and Flusterstorm for Mr. P. Sully to analyze.
Well, it's interesting because Pyroclasm, Defense Grid, and Blood Moon are all justifiable here. So is the extra copy of Flusterstorm. The question is, what are you willing to take out? I would consider the 2 copies of Omniscience and the Jace the Mind Sculptor to be flex slots you can get away from in this matchup. You know, beyond that, are you willing to shave out cantrips to bring in some of these cards? I was really uncertain playing this deck about how I was supposed to handle it match to match against Delver. I think you're supposed to keep the deck pretty much intact and just get rid of your flex slots, but if Cohen wants to, he has the option of going a little bit deeper.
Other side of things here for Bob. He's got 3 Cabal Therapy, 2 Ancient Grudge. 2 Diabolic Edict, 2 Power Blast, 2 Surgical Extraction, 2 March Casualties, that Liliana Last Hope that's been popular this weekend, and a Pithing Needle.
Great sideboard here. You can bring in the 2 copies of Diabolic Edict to answer one of the large creatures. Therapy and Pyroblast are just generally good disruption, and you can bring in the 1 copy of Pithing Needle to answer Sneak Attack, sometimes Gristlebrand.
Those are the options there for both players. We'll be underway here in game number 2 in just a moment. Do want to briefly talk about SCG Game Night if we can. It's a very popular promotion. We got some new stuff coming down the pipeline here for March, April, and May as we work our way into quarter number 2 of the year.
Yeah, you can head over to go.cerseigames.com/game night for more information about game night and find the game night closest to you. We got some kits to announce here. March, which we're in right now, you're playing for the 2-toed Spectacle. April is 3 Brave Mice, and then in May, Feline Focus. Again, go.cerseigames.com/game night for more information. Find the game night closest to you. And stores, if you want to get signed up for game night, contact your Star City Games in-store play representative.
Game number 2 about to be underway here between Adam Cohen and Bob Huang. We are in round number 12 of our Legacy Open. Of course, we've got this round and a couple more to cover. Then after that, we'll be cutting to a top 8 where you'll be deciding our quarterfinals matchup. We'll work our way through a top 8, and someone's walking out of here with $5,000, 35 SCG points, and invite to our Season 1 Invitational at SCG Con in Roanoke, Virginia at the Berglund Center. Looking forward to that weekend as so many are, as we've got an awesome vintage tournament there in the SCG Power 9. We've got the Duel for Duels Legacy Tournament. We've got Invitational. We've got a No Ban List Modern Open, and a whole bunch more. Tons of classics, cosplay contests. It's going to be an awesome weekend here. Looks like Adam has a question for our table spotter here. Not quite sure what it is, but we will find out in just a moment as Bob waits patiently. And now we have a judge. So we'll find out exactly what this question is. It looks like we're underway. Okay, Leyline of Sanctity. And is that a no? Ooh, no land. Boy.
I wonder if was he wondering if that comes into play before or after he scries.
Okay. Yep, just wondering if it's Scry or Leyline first. You nailed it.
So Leyline is going a lot deeper than I prefer in this kind of matchup. Obviously bringing it in to fight against discard spells. I think that you kind of only want the Leylines against decks that just can't really play back at you if you have one. Storm is a good example of that. Burn, a couple other strategies. But bringing in against a deck that just has a handful of Cabal therapies is not something I'm a fan of.
It's not my favorite here either, unfortunately, for Adam. Now, you know, he's working here with no lands. I think he has a City of Traders in his hand right now that he's just refusing to deploy.
It doesn't do anything unless it's paired with a Lotus Petal.
Yep.
And Huang's hand here is great. He's got some pressure, some cantrips to fuel the Young Pyromancer, Force of Will plus Daze.
Now here's a Ponder. So 2 elemental tokens will be joining the battlefield here in just a moment.
I think I would have preferred here, it's a small thing, I think I would have preferred for Huang here to lead with the Gitaxian Probe that's in his hand.
How?
To inform the Ponder.
What's he gonna, he wants to target himself?
With the probe, you can do that, right?
I think so. It doesn't inform the Ponder any.
Well, it's a random draw.
I guess it's a new draw. Okay,
I guess you might shuffle some, I don't know, whatever. It's small. Doesn't really matter. Bob's got 2 Force of Wills. Just straight garbage time now.
Here comes Pyromancer and Deathrite Shaman. It's quick. It's just funny how quickly Legacy games are like competitive. We're in garbage time. We're all set. Force blue card. Another force. Probably another blue card coming. There's a land. Bob just looking for one more blue card, and then he can just put his hand on the table if he'd like. Cabal Therapy got him. Bob's just trying to figure out how he kills him in 2 turns now.
Attacking twice.
That's, yes. Okay. Get him a raise.
I got that one.
Get him a raise.
I got it.
Yep.
I got the line. Attack and then untap and then attack again.
Here's a Brainstorm. Probably going to daze that. Gonna let it go. Fair enough. 2, 3. City of Traders, Blood Moon, Ancient Tomb. 2 cards going back.
By the way, the next time, this is not really related to the match we're watching right now. The next time I'm playing this deck, I'm putting 4 Blood Moons in my sideboard.
Yeah?
I'm just doing that. But anywho, we're all done here.